C220. That should kind of be there, but it's not. So we want the drop link, which we've got. We want front pads and discs, which we've got. New, old. See that that's a lip, well, a ridge. We'll call it a ridge. There's pads. To get rear pads, so it was just shy of 200 quid for engine oil, oil filter, air filter, front drop links, front pads and discs, and a set of rear pads. Rear pads are 50% worn, so they're halfway on the life, so they can go back. And if you can get me a brake pad whir sensor for the back, because that's flipped out. Might want pads yet, I don't know until I strip it down, but this is the one that also wants. I'll flip it now so you can get a better look at that in a bit, but that is the injector seals leaking, so that you want doing. Well, like both front and rear bumpers want spraying, because they're not the best. He has got paint there to do. He's just being lazy and not done. So yeah, so I'm gonna crack on and get it done. So both sides are done. I've put that other side wheel back on. So we've got two new drop links, shiny anyway. New front pads and discs. Managed to save, well, I think I managed to save the whir sensor on that side. So they've broke both sides. I don't really fancy putting them back in, just in case you fall back out and get trapped in the wheel and make a loud bang, so leaving them off. New drop links, new discs, new pads, all copper greased up. We're just going to pull some brake fluid out the top of the pot. Because 9 o'clock at night, and if I start trying to move them bleed nipples, they'll end up snapping in them calipers, because they've probably not been touched since new, or it's been at MERC for its servicing, if they even change brake fluid, because I know they call the ABS system SBC, something like that, that it's a service requirement that all the brakes get done at a certain mileage. It might be over 150k or something. ABS pump, calipers, the full thing gets replaced. So I'm not even going to attempt to move them bleed nipples. I'm just going to pull some fluid out of the pots, and that'll just mix with the fluid in the lines, is what I'm going with, because it's 9 o'clock at night and something will end up breaking on me. It always does, always. However, I'm going to box this off. I've still got the engine oil service thing to do. I'll put this wheel back on and then I'll show you the injectors at the top anyway. Right then, so these are pretty much what I've got to deal with on the injectors. There is an issue with, put a lid back. There is an issue with that wiring loom for the injectors, for the injector plugs, because there's that much carbon around them. See that wiring there at the back? There's an issue with that. The resistance build up in it. So see what happens. So that is that, but yeah, So this is what I'm on about really. With these cars, if you get too caught up in them, you just get really pissed off with cars just in general. New air filter, old air filter. So as you can imagine, that's been in there some time, and that is not good. Certainly not for the poor car as well. Does irritate me. It's not expensive. Sorry about this. I'll just leave these there. So there's a little metal clips around them, like little spring clip type things. See what I mean? At 9 o'clock at night when everything's fine, it's not worth it. Not worth doing things, because everything will, and it will fight against you. So, as I was saying, the spring clips all around there. I've got back box to do on a Corsa tomorrow night, so trying to get this as far on as possible. Don't want to drain the oil and filter tonight because I want to move it. I've not got the proper tool for doing that, so I might borrow the one from work to do that. I'll see tomorrow. Anyway, I'll just top his fluids up, because then at least it can still use the car as it will currently be. Any antifreeze left? Right, so we've got the MERC, the C220. Brother is doing his bodywork on it, so it's cracking there. So he's got all that prepped. He's got all that prepped. So he's got all his filler on. Just wants rubbing down some more. You see all the dull parts where he's prepped. So he's got that little dent there as well. Not sure if he's doing anything with that or he's just leaving it. Bonnet as well. So I've done the front pads and discs. So they're done. Here are the discs anyway. They're all knackered. The pads, you can see they're knackered. Still need him to get me the brake pad wear sensors for the front and rear. I've not done the rear pads yet, I've not done the island filter. Done his drop links. They're what are left of these drop links, so it doesn't knock on the front anymore. So they call this, or at least a few on the forum have called it Black Death. That have been looking at how you do these, because I've never done these. Apparently they are a pain. As I've said before, I put some engine flush, some STP engine flush on it before I started getting rid of the carbon around them. So all I started doing to get rid of the carbon is just chip away and just literally scrape or chip away, so you're left with all the bits of carbon like that, all the little bits, so you can get Hoover and an airline, put goggles on, wear a face mask because there is dust, and it is carbon dust, it is bad for you. And literally make sure you shut your eyes as well. Use the airline and have the Hoover going as well to suck all the carbon deposits in. So yeah, just got the other 3 to do. There's a bit more finishing that wants doing, and then I'm going to put some more STP oil flush. So it's only from Euro, it's about £3, whatever it is, that stuff, STP engine flush. So that's paraffin based, so it just frees everything up. I've not used Coke, I didn't really fancy that, so it's got some paraffin based. I bet you could even get away with using paraffin to free the carbon up, and then you can chip away, because it makes it in like a mush rather than going crystallised solid and you can't do much with it. So I poured that over it yesterday, let it crystallise and just let it sit. So I'm scraping all the carbon off. See how that one's all coked up still. So clean them all off, and then I'm going to pour some more engine flush down and let it soak up some more. Apparently the bolts that hold for your injector clamps, apparently they're a torque to yield bolt, so they're a stretch bolt. So I might order the new bolts and proper washers from Mercedes for this. They're probably not going to be expensive, probably a couple of quid a bolt, a couple of quid per copper washer. Copper washers from Euro, they do fit, but they're not a snug tight fit, and they do still leak afterwards. My mate was telling me. My mate has done them before. He was saying put Ford ones on. He says they're a little bit tight going on, but you get a bit of emery cloth and you clean them up a little bit inside, or get a little bit of a file. They go on and they're a tighter fit than the genuine ones as well, and they don't seem to leak afterwards. So I don't know. We'll weigh it up and see what's what. But yeah, just thought I'd show you what I've done to it and how far my brother's going on with his paintwork. Apparently he's going to go and get a Devil Bliss, a GTI Pro Light or something, spray gun, because he keeps using them Segolas and I don't think they're that good.